Everybody, welcome back to the 2007 Big League Conference Championship Series. All four teams are still alive here as we figure out who's going to be in our TBL championship game. Somerville with a 3-1 series lead over Fort Collins. Game 5 is in Fort Collins, and then Game 6 and 7 back in Somerville. And then Huron and San Diego tied 2-2 going into Game 5. Game 5 in this series is in Huron, and then again 6 and 7 will be back in San Diego. Let's take a look at the pitching matchups real quick for Game 5, and then we'll get underway. DJ Marksberry going for Somerville against Jimmy Adamczyk. Marksberry has been brilliant, 2-0, a 1.12 ERA in this postseason. Adamczyk struggled a little bit, but he does have the 2-1 record, so he's gotten the run support from Fort Collins. On the other side, we have Craig Robinette going for the Seals. He's 1-2 with a 3.25 ERA this postseason. He's going against George Reed, who's been phenomenal this postseason, 2-0 with a 1.75 ERA. But that's a pretty strong pitching matchup, and I think both of these pitching matchups are a repeat of Game 1. So without further ado, we will get things going here. And of course, if anybody notices anything wrong with the stream, please just say so in chat. As everybody knows, I'm on vacation this week, so things are a little funky in terms of I'm using new software and a bunch of other things. So here we go. Good luck to our GMs, and we will see who our two conference champions are this year. First two base runners on for Somerville here in the top of the first. Trying to get off to a quick start in Fort Collins. After 2 outs, Bill Rowe hits a 3-run homer to start things off for the money line. So a quick 3-0 lead here in the top of the first as we go to the bottom of the first. Second home run of the postseason for Bill Rowe. And with Marksberry on the mound, that is something that Somerville must be pretty happy to see here early in the game. Two on with 1 out for Fort Collins, and they get a big hit by Mike McGoldrick, driving in Torres and Walters, so that cuts the lead to 3-2. Man on second, so they're still threatening. Meanwhile, man on third with 1 out for San Diego, trying to get the first run across in that game, but they can't. Todd Velig's going to ground out, so onto the bottom of the third we go, still scoreless. And Huron, Huron strikes big here in the fourth inning. Chris Vesey singles, driving in Farrow, and then Jonathan Vickers hits a monster 3-run home run to give them a 4-0 lead in the fourth. On to the fifth we go. Meanwhile, in the Somerville game in the fourth, Kimata Yamashita hits a sac fly. That's going to drive in Connolly. That's going to give them a 4-2 lead. San Diego now on the board in the top of the fifth. Domingo Ganoza singles, driving in Brumleve. And that is a 4-1 game, so they're trying to claw back here, 2 on, 1 out. Meanwhile, Fort Collins threatening 2 on, 2 outs, but Pete Kellogg flies out, so out of the inning is Somerville onto the top of the fifth. First and third now for San Diego, 2 down. Let's see if they can put some runs across. But Bill Bryce is going to fly out, so that is going to get Huron out of the jam. So they retain the 4-1 lead going to the bottom of the fifth. Victor Rivera hits a solo home run for the Herons. And I promise you, if they win this series, he's going to be the MVP. That's his 4th home run of the conference championship. Pretty amazing. Justin Connolly's going to double and drive in Reyes. That extends the Somerville lead to 5-2. And then Elias Huerta single drives in Rowe and Connolly. So 7-2. Somerville extending that lead here in the 5th inning. And with DJ Marksberry on the mound, it's going to take quite an effort from Fort Collins to stay alive in their season here, down 3-1 in this series. Jim Green singles to lead things off for San Diego, but a quick strikeout retires a batter. Glenn Marks singles, so 2 on, San Diego threatening. Brumleve walks, so 1 out, bases loaded, tying run at the plate. That's going to be a pitching change for the Herons as they pulled George Reed after 5.1 innings. In comes Johnson. And a pass ball scores Green, so they don't get the big hit. They get out of the jam, giving up just the 1 run, 5-2. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, first and third now for Somerville, trying to add on and put Fort Collins away here. Chris Vesey hits a solo homer for the Herons, extending that lead to 6-2. And Fort Collins gets out of the jam on their side of things, so that game remains at 7-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Frank Escobar with a solo home run in the 7th. Somerville now leads 8-2. Elias Huerta with a 2-run homer. 4 for 4 in the game with 4 RBIs. He's having a monster game here when Somerville needs it the most to try to close out this series. Maybe I'm being a little dramatic. Maybe that's not when they need it the most, but certainly appreciated, right? 10-2, it's pretty much a technicality at this point unless Fort Collins can really have a miracle here. They did erase an 8-run deficit in the wildcard series, but that was with several innings left. They're only down to their last 6 outs here. Meanwhile, 2 on, 1 out for the Seals, trying to get back in this game. Bases loaded now with 2 down. They need a big hit, though. Mosher's in the game for the Herons in relief. 2 more runs on a Nelson Reyes homer for Somerville, and they are just piling on here. They're going to put Fort Collins' season to an end here. Pat Farrow, leadoff single. San Diego's down to their last 3 outs here. Down by 4. They don't want to give up more runs here, that's for sure. Jonathan Vickers hits a sac fly. It's going to score Faro. 7-2 Herons as we go to the 9th. 5-run lead. 9th inning in Fort Collins as well. Elias Huerta with his 5th hit of the game. Absolute monster, and that's a record. I'm guessing that's what the record is. We'll have to check that after the game, but Somerville did set a playoff record here. Bill Bryce with a home run. Gets one back for San Diego, but they're down to their last out here, and it's a final. So Huron wins 7-3 and takes the 3-2 series lead now as we go back to San Diego. The Seals are going to have to win 2 games at home if they want to advance to the championship. Leadoff double for Fort Collins. 1 down now. 2 outs away from their season wrapping up. A nice season for Fort Collins, coming up a little short here in the conference championship. And if my history books are correct, this is going to be the 3rd time Fort Collins gets eliminated in the conference championship. So unable to get over that hump. Maybe next year they'll be back here. 12-2, it's a final. So one more, Somerville are Ice Conference champions here. And I gotta go plug the Mac in real quick because my battery's getting low and that would be a freaking disaster. So give me 1 second and then we will continue on with Game 6. Alrighty. Game 6 underway. We have Joe Butts on the mound for the Seals. A leadoff hit by Fitzpatrick, and then Victor Rivera walks. So 2 on, nobody out to start things off for the Herons. Bases loaded, nobody out, trying to do some damage early. Butts gets a huge strike out of Pat Farrow. Let's see if he can get out of the rest of this jam. Ricky Rodriguez hits a sac fly. Fitzpatrick's going to score. And then a Arturo Nunez double drives in Rivera and Cole. So a quick 3-0 lead for the Herons here in San Diego. Chris Siegel is going to get the start here for the Herons. Fitzpatrick, his second hit of the game, second double of the game. 6 up, 6 down for the Seals so far, as Chris Siegel pitching well through 2. Chris Siegel now 6 innings pitched, just 1 hit allowed. Huron keeps the 3-0 lead into the top of the 7th. Time is running out on San Diego's season. They're going to need to get some action here. Joe Butts has pitched really brilliantly since that first inning, but 3 runs in the first is the difference right now. So 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Leadoff hit for Bill Bryce. And a 1-out walk for Clark Heine. So that's first and second. Tying runs on at the plate. Glenn Marks grounds out, though, so 2 down. Caleb Brumleaf doubles, driving in Bill Bryce. So now second and third, 2 out, and San Diego's on the board. It's now 3-1, and it's tied. Domingo Ganoza singles, driving in Marks and Brumleaf, and we are tied 3-3 in going to the top of the 8th. San Diego has not done yet. Let's see what happens here at the end of this game. Leadoff double by Chris Vesey and an intentional walk to Pat Farrow's first and second, top of the 8th here. For Carter. We've got a pitching change. Marquez is in the game too. So just Carter singles. A double play gets them out of a jam maybe. Let's see. Was bases loaded, nobody out. Looks like it was a home to first double play, and then Vickers grounds out. So San Diego escapes the bases loaded, nobody out jam in the top of the 8th. It's going to go to the bottom of the 8th here, tied 3-3. Mike Wilson walks to lead things off for the Seals. It's going to bring in a pitching change for the Herons. Swenner's in the game. Mike Wilson steals second, so running a scoring position. He's going to score. Todd Velas singles, driving in Wilson. So San Diego takes the 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Todd Velas steals second, so now runner in scoring position again. And another pitching change as Mosher's coming into the game. He gets Green a strikeout looking. Clark Heine walks. It's going to bring up Glenn Marks. Velas steals third, but Marks strikes out swinging, and that's going to end the inning. 3 outs left for the Herons, and all of a sudden their backs are against the wall here in Game 6. We might have a Game 7. Let's see if Huron can rally here. It was weird. San Diego registered an error, but no one got on base. I don't know how that works. Maybe they dropped a pop fly in foul territory. Who knows? Fitzpatrick walks with 2 down here and a steal second. So the tying run is in scoring position. First and second now for Revelorio. It looks like he's in the game. And Revelorio hits a 3-run homer in the top of the 9th inning, giving Huron the 6-4 lead. And all of a sudden, San Diego down to the final 3 outs of their season. Let's see if they have anything left. Huge hit by Arturo Revelorio. Leadoff runner on. Caleb Brumleaf singles. So tying run is at the plate for the Seals. Domingo Ganosa lines out. It's going to bring up Grieve. He's going to fly out. Final out and that is it. The Herons win it on a 3-run homer by Arturo Revelorio in the 9th inning. So a huge comeback by the Seals late, but then Huron turns the tables and takes Game 6 and ends this series, and they win it 4-2. So we have a Fire Conference champion in the Huron Herons, and they are going to face off against the Somerville Moneyline, the Ice Conference champions, tomorrow night. So congratulations to our winning GMs tonight, and well, congratulations to our losing GMs as well for getting this far, and better luck next season. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll actually check out the series MVPs here real quick. I actually wanted to check out that record in the Somerville game. I think it was on hits. Yeah, Elias Huerta sets the Ice Conference playoff game record with hits for 5. So he's the first Ice Conference player to have 5 hits in a playoff game. And then let's look at these MVPs of the series. For Somerville, it was Elias Huerta. So he went 8 for 14 in the series, a homer and 4 RBIs. On the other side of things, it was Victor Rivera, no-brainer on that one. He was a freak in this series. 8 for 23, 4 home runs, all solo home runs, but I mean, they were like all in the first inning. He got his team off to a quick start, 3 of the 4 times at least. So well-deserved MVP. So congratulations to Michael, congratulations to JR, and we will wrap this thing up in the next day or two. So till next time.